So this is just going to be a short video with a few yoga poses in it, a little bit of a warm-up, a bit of breathing, pranayama, and a very short yoga nidra. So it's going to last about 20 minutes maximum, and you can use a yoga mat. You don't have to use a yoga mat. You can do this on the couch if you particularly want to, but it's not going to support your back particularly. So just be mindful that anything you're going to do, if you're going to try any of these poses, you really do need to make sure that you seek medical advice if you've got any ongoing physical issues, just to make sure that you are okay with that. There will be a hip opening, there will be a forward bend, which if you've got any issues in your back, especially bulging discs, be very, very aware of that. And if you've got any problems with your sacroiliac joints as well, be really aware of that. Okay, thank you. So we're going to start with just some pretty basic deep breathing. So I want you to place your hands onto your belly, because it's better if we can breathe into the belly when we're doing some deep breathing. So all I want you to do is just relax the shoulders, draw your chin so it's level with the floor, take a deep breath in, and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. Now I just want you to start to breathe into the belly. Notice how the belly rises as you're breathing, and exhale into the belly. And that's all I want you to do to begin with. Just let the breath come gently in. You'll feel the belly rise. You may prefer to put one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, and exhale, let the belly and the chest fall back down again. So just do that spontaneously, a natural breath to begin, and just notice where the breath is going. Now when we start doing this, just breathe spontaneously for the moment. When we start to do this, we are going to count the breath as it goes in, and we're going to count the breath as it goes out. I'm going to try and make the exhalations longer than the inhalations. So as you come to the bottom of the next exhalation, pause for a moment, start to breathe in and count how long it takes you to breathe in. Pause as you get to the top of the breath. Pause the number and exhale. Count the breath as you exhale as well. And you're going to try and make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. So continue with that. So breathing in, you're going to count it. Maybe you'll get to the same number, that is fine. You can then get a nice rhythm with it. And exhale again, counting. Try and make it longer. The aim is to make it double the length of the inhalation, but you might not be able to do that yet. And you may breathe quite deeply already. You may find you're counting up to 10 as you inhale. You may be only counting up to 2 or 3. So just take a few more deep breaths in that way. So deep breathing is really good, because when you are doing deep breathing and you're making the exhalation longer, it actually allows us to lower the stress hormone in the body. The message is sent to the brain to lower that hormone. So just one more deep breath in that way. As you come to the end of the exhalation, just open your eyes, and I just want you to wriggle into your hands. You may want to stretch. You may want to give your body a little bit of a stretch. Just make sure that you're feeling comfortable. So we're going to come into a seated warm-up to start off with. Now I'm not brilliant at sitting with my legs crossed, so I'm going to sit on a little bolster here. You can sit on a block, you can sit on a couple of books, as long as you're feeling comfortable when you're doing this. So we're going to begin with some neck circles. Again, any issues in your neck, be really mindful. Just let the chin start to drop down towards the chest, and then bring the head back up to a neutral position. Now let the right ear drop over towards the right shoulder, and then just gently turn the chin towards that right shoulder. So it's almost like you're looking over the shoulder. Come back to the center. Let the chin drop back in towards the chest. Come back to the center. Let the left ear drop over towards the left shoulder. And then very gently turn the chin towards the shoulder, so it's almost like you're looking over the shoulder. and then bring the head back to the center. So we're just going to go round with a circle once in each direction. So drop the chin down towards the chest. And let the right ear drop to the right shoulder. Take the head back only if the neck's going to allow that. Or the left ear towards the left shoulder. Chin back into the chest. Go back in the opposite direction. Left shoulder. Head back. The right shoulder. And head back to the center. And then bring your chin so it's level again. Now we're just going to come into a little bit of arching here with the back. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little bit better here. So all I want you to do now is just allow yourself, you can start by putting the hands onto the knees and then just arching into the back. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Now start to take it the opposite direction, and if you can, bring the fingertips behind you. So just gently touching into the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together, take the head back a little, only if it feels okay. So do that 2 more times. So the chin's going to go into the chest. And when we go back into the arch, the backward bend in a moment, we're going to breathe in. So breathe in, fingertips behind you. Breathe out, fingers to knees, chin into chest. Arching and stretching the back. 1 more time. Breathe in, fingertips behind you, opening into the heart and into the chest. Exhale, fingertips back down to the knees and chin into the chest. And then just take yourself back to a neutral position. And I want you to bring the left fingertips behind you and just bring the right fingertips over towards the left knee, sorry. So take a breath and just a really gentle twist there. And come back to the center, and you're going to go to the other side. So right hand's going to come behind you. Left hand's going to go over towards the right knee. Take a breath as you lift and exhale, just a really gentle twist there. And then slowly ease your way back to the center. Let the legs go and give the legs a little bit of a stretch. So as I said, this is just a very short, a bit of a mini lesson. So a little bit of breathing, a little bit of a warm up. I'm just going to come into a couple of poses now. I want you to come down onto the floor. I'm going to come into a pose that's called Eye of the Needle. Now I've not got the best hips at all. My hips are not particularly flexible at all, so I find this quite difficult sometimes. So I'm going to use a bolster with this for my head if I need it. So I'm just going to put my head on top of this bolster. It makes it a little bit easier. My feet are hips width apart, my knees are hips width apart. I'm going to bring the outside of my right foot and I'm placing it on top of the knee. The heel is going to push away on that foot. I really hope my feet aren't dirty there. They shouldn't be. Right hand is going to go to the inside of that thigh. You're just going to gently push that away. I prefer to keep my left hand on my left hip just to make sure that I don't let that lift at all. Now that might be where you need to stay. If you feel as if you can go further, this is where my head doesn't like this. You're going to start to bring the foot off the floor and you're going to take the right hand through the space between your legs, that triangle space. And the left hand's going to come to the outside and you're going to try, if you can, to get hold of the underside of that thigh and just gently pull the thigh in. Now as we're doing this, my hip immediately is saying, I'm not so sure about this. I just want to show you what happens if I haven't got a bolster under my head. Can you see how my head's tilted right back there because my hip isn't particularly flexible? This is why, if you find your head is like this is why you need to put the knee down and you need to just go to the easier point where you're just gently pushing the thigh away. So be mindful, you don't want that really tight stretch at the front of the neck. So take a deep breath in and exhale, slowly release that left foot down. Release that right ankle. You might need to give it a couple of little turns. You hear my foot? No, it's not making any noises. Foot come back down. So now the outside of this left foot, where's that come from? Is coming onto the top of the right knee. Left hand is going to go to the inside of that left thigh and just gently push it away. So you feel as if there's a length coming from the hip right the way up towards the top of the head. Again, I prefer to put my right hand on that right hip just to keep both sides of my hips down. If you know you can go further, lift that right foot off the floor Slide this left hand between the legs, get hold of the underside of that right thigh and gently pull, really gently pull that thigh in. So again, heel of the foot is just pushing away gently to protect that knee, to protect that ankle. And if your head is tilted right back again, remember you need to put the foot down and go back to the easier version where you're just going to push the thigh away. So gentle breaths with this. And you'll notice when I'm talking quite often, I mix letters up, I mix words up. And I don't want to say that's age catching up on me. I prefer to say that it's the chemotherapy that damaged my brain a couple of years ago. And I will continue to say that. When I've completely lost my mind, I will blame the chemotherapy. So take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly release that back down. And again, you might want to do a few little twists with that ankle there. And then just bring the soles of the feet back down onto the floor. So I just want you to extend the arms out to the side now, so they are in line with the shoulders. Now I'm going to bend my elbows. Some people can really stretch them out, but I've got rotator cuff injury in my shoulder. So just be mindful of what feels right there. If the shoulders are really far off the floor, you may prefer to put the hands on the belly. So I just want you to rock the knees. That's all you're going to do. Just gently rock the knees from side to side for a moment. So we're just kind of like softening those after you've just been doing a hip opener. That's all we're doing, is we're counterposing those hips. So whenever I do yoga, I'm having to be really mindful because I've got quite a few injuries from trying to get back into the yoga too quickly after my surgery and chemotherapy. So really, really please make sure that you are being gentle with whatever it is that you're doing. So come back to the center. Very carefully start to roll over on to the front of the body. I'm going to go this way because you really don't want to see my bum, do you? So we're just going to soften that gently down to the floor. So all I want you to do is bring the forehead down to the floor. My jumper's right in the way there. And bring the hands for a nice easier cobra. Bring the hands so they're just to the sides of the mat, but the thumbs are pointing towards your head. Now very carefully just lift the head, but keep a length in the back of the neck. And I just want you to very gently lift. You're not going to take yourself too high there. My feet are on top of the bolster only because there's no room for them, so please make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Exhale, really gently bring that back down. Now you can continue if you wish, breathing in just to come into that lift, and breathing out to come back down. But if you find it's quite a strong pose, I would go for a crocodile instead, by just making pillows with the arms and letting the head rest on top of those hands. So if you do feel as if lifting in and out of a cobra is too much, just take yourself into crocodile. And you'll really feel that massaging into the belly, even if you're not lifting. So I'm going to come into just one more gentle cobra there. And I'm trying to use the back rather than pushing with the hands here. And then very carefully softening back down. Now I find the easiest way to get out of a cobra is actually to bring my elbows down. And I start to walk, as my bum lifts, I start to walk my elbows towards my knees. And that allows me to soften out of a backward bend a lot more easily. And if it's okay with the body, extending the hands forwards, I'm going to bring mine nice and wide for that rotator cuff injury. And I'm keeping my elbows bent again. So just a really good stretch there into the back. And when you're ready, you're going to come back up onto your hands and onto your knees. So I just want to put hands and knees coming back into a seated position. So I'm just going to finish with a gentle spinal twist. Now what I want you to do is both legs are going to be straight. You're just sitting upright, and I just want you to start to draw that left foot in. Now, the easiest version of this is just right hand onto that left knee, fingertips behind. You're just going to breathe in as you lift and exhale, a really gentle twist towards that left knee. Now, I'm not going to take it any deeper than that. I want this to be a much more gentle kind of twist. But you'll still feel the belly being massaged by the thigh, that right leg, that straight leg, toe pointing up towards the ceiling. You're not going to be letting that go to sleep. So just gentle breaths. If you did want to take this a little bit further, you'd cross the left foot over the right leg. So that would just make it a little bit deeper. But we're not doing that today. Now exhale, just release that twist in the opposite direction for a moment. And come back to the center, give the legs a little bit of a shake. So you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Begin to bring that right foot in. Again, toe pointing up towards the ceiling. Left hand to the right knee, right hands just fingertips behind, breathe in to lift. And exhale, a really gentle twist. Again, that left toes rolling up, pointing towards the ceiling, the shoulders are rolling away from the ears. And you can probably feel that thigh gently massaging into the belly. So twists are really good, but you do have to be very mindful when you're twisting with the spine and with the pelvis and with the sacroiliac joints, because what you don't want to do, because of course the sacrum is attached both to your spine and your hips, your pelvis, so you don't want to force the sacrum to have to choose whether it's going to follow the spine or whether it's going to follow the hips. So be really mindful when you're doing twists that you're not forcing the spine to twist too far. Just keep the twist in the upper part of the body if it's a seated one like this. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Just gently allow yourself to turn in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, you're just going to give the legs a bit of a shake. So we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a stretch. So interlace the fingers, push the hands forwards, bring the soles of the feet onto the floor so the knees are bent. And all I want you to do is just give this back a little bit of a stretch there. Bring the fingertips behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together and just give yourself a bit of a stretch down the front. So I did say, very short little lesson. So just bring yourself now into a supine position for a very, very quick Shavasana. So all I want you to do now is just bring yourself down into a comfortable position. Let everything relax. And if you've got any issues in your back, you might want to put something underneath the knees, because when the knees are supported, the lower back presses into the floor and it just makes everything an awful lot softer. So take a deep breath in and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. I'm just going to finish now with what is known as a rotation of consciousness. So I'm going to move around the body. I'm going to name parts of your body, and I just want you to imagine there's a tiny light, and each time I name a part of the body, that light is going to jump from point to point, and that light is going to be the energy that's going to move through the whole of the body. So bring your awareness to the right hand thumb and simply follow the sound of my voice. Right hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, right wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, collarbone, right side of the chest, right side of the waist, right hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf muscle, ankle, heel, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth toe. Go to the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, left wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, collarbone, left side of the chest, left side of the waist, left hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf muscle, ankle, heel, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth toe. Go to the top of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right cheek, the left cheek, the right nostril, left nostril, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin, the throat, the middle of the chest, and the navel. And bring your awareness back into the navel, into the belly where we began. And I just want you to take yourself back to where we began at the beginning of the lesson. And as you breathe into the belly, just count how long it takes you to breathe in. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. Pause for a moment at the top of the breath. And as you exhale again, see if you can lengthen that. You might even be able to lengthen it double. Doesn't matter if you don't. But as you come to the end of the exhalation, squeeze the navel in towards the spine. Get rid of all of the last remnants of air. Breathe in again, deeply into the belly, counting 1, 2, 3, however long it takes you to breathe in. Pause again at the moment, for a moment at the top. And exhale again, gently, navel drawing back into the spine as you count your exhalation. Your last deep breath. Again, breathing in, counting that breath. Pause for a moment. And this time I want you to just sigh with the exhalation. And then when you're ready, open your eyes again. I think I'm going to give my nose a bit of a twitch. Feel like Tabitha from Bewitched. And then gently wriggle back into your fingers. Give yourself a really nice stretch. Shake those legs, shake those knees. Yes, that was my knees cracking there. Do whatever your body is asking you to do now. It may need you to hook the knees into the chest and give yourself a bit of a rock from side to side. You may want to roll over onto your side. But when you are ready, you're going to bring yourself back up into a comfortable seated position. So, a nice little short yoga lesson there, bit of breathing, and this is what all of my lessons will always include. They will include pranayama, which is we'll start with some sort of breathing, and then we'll do a warm-up, then we'll do a few yoga poses, and then a shavasana to end. Quite often I will theme them, and if you do wish to join and have a longer lesson, because I do Zoom classes, please email me on thegentlespiritrealm @hotmail.com. So it's thegentlespiritrealm @hotmail.com. And then you're welcome to join the Zoom classes. They are £3 for an hour, but then I will send you a recording of the lesson, because I will record the Zoom, so then you'll get a recording of it to do it whenever you want. But there will be short ones on YouTube every week or so. So namaste.